Hello and welcome to another Asian Agribiz podcast. This is Arif Fahrudin. In the previous episode with duck consultant Dr. Hardi Prasetyo, my colleague Meliana discussed Indonesia's layered duck sector and growth opportunities for duck eggs. Today, she speaks again with Dr. Prasetyo about the broiler duck sector development.
Dr. Hardy, in a previous podcast, you stated that the Indonesian duck egg industry has been stagnant for some time, or perhaps with very small growth. How about the duck meat industry?
Okay, as for duck meat industry, it has been a rapid increase in the demand for duck meat in the last decade, and it keeps increasing every year. Restaurants serving duck-based menu is growing in every city with densely populated area. However, the production system is not quite ready for this sudden increase, because the existing breeding farms only produced layer ducklings in the past. Therefore, the potential growth in duck meat industry is tremendous.
And how does the industry compare to the chicken broiler industry?
For the duck meat industry, the production system has not really been established. The main limitation is in the availability of good quality commercial strain of broiler ducklings. This is mainly because duck genetic resources in Indonesia are mostly layer type, and thus broiler strain must be developed first. Initially, spent layers and fattened male layer ducklings were used as the source of duck meat, but gradually consumers demand better quality meat. It takes time to produce good quality broiler ducks, and only a few large companies so far have started to get interested in developing commercial breeding farms and producing good quality broiler duck strains. Importing commercial strain of Peking duck is not really attractive because the largest market segment of duck meat in Indonesia is only for small to medium-sized carcasses, while Peking duck is usually used to produce large-sized carcasses.
Okay, in a previous podcast, you also mentioned that there are several local strains developed locally in several regions of Indonesia for layer ducks. How about broiler ducks? What broiler duck strains are currently available?
Yes, for broiler ducks, hybrid strains have been developed from crossing between Peking and local ducks by the Research Institute, and one strain is called PMP Agrinak, and also by private company. The strain was called Gunsi PKC ducklings. Two other companies are also in the process of producing hybrids, and their products are also yet to be released. Farmers have been using these commercial strains available in the market, but the supply is still very limited, both in quantity and in the distribution area, mainly in Western, Central, and East Java, especially for broiler strains.
What do farmers need to raise broiler ducks, Doctor?
Broiler farming is relatively simple and a short-term activity, only about 6 to 8 weeks until slaughter age. Farmers only need to concern mainly on nutrition, disease control, and scheduling. The nutrition aspect must be exact because of that small period of production, disease control, and the scheduling when to bring the ducklings in and when to harvest the slaughtered animals. However, current problems faced by farmers, broiler farmers, are in obtaining ducklings in terms of quality and quantity on regular basis. Marketing live birds on scheduled slaughter age may also create problems for small-scale farmers because if they don't have a marketing channel already by the time it's time to harvest the birds, then they cannot wait until they can market it because the more you keep the birds, then the cost will be higher. And also the availability of duck slaughterhouse locally because it's a new industry. There are not many available slaughterhouse for ducks in place right now.
Do you think demand for duck meat in Indonesia will continue to grow? How will the producers keep up with demand?
Okay, the demand for duck meat, it will continue to grow for sure with the increasing supply of good quality breeding stocks. And with the improvement of meat quality and with the increasing number of commercial breeding farms. Presently, consumers buy duck meat only when they are ready to eat, in the form of ready to eat, either in restaurants or frozen cooked meat. And only rarely they buy duck carcasses, as in chicken, simply because of unfamiliarity with the cooking methods. We can see that household may buy chicken carcasses almost every day or every other day, but not with duck carcasses because they may think that it's more difficult to cook duck meat when compared to chicken meat. In the future, when they are ready to buy duck carcasses from for home cooking, then the demand will even increase more and more.
Yes, processed duck offers convenience to consumers. With changing dietary preference and lifestyles, consumers are increasingly looking for convenient and ready-to-cook option that require less time to prepare.
Yes, it's true. However, duck dishes are still not very common in the daily menu of households, like chicken dishes, or also in large gathering or parties. It's still not very common to serve duck dishes. And also simply because right now duck meat is more expensive than chicken meat, probably about 30 or 40% more expensive than chicken.
Okay, Doctor, what are the industry's challenges apart from the DOD shortage you mentioned?
Yes, first of all, the supply of DOD, yes, only a few large commercial breeding farms are still uh, in production, and some more commercial breeding farms are still in the process of improving the quality and quantity of the old ducks to meet demand. Hopefully, in the next 4 or 5 years, the supply will be able to meet the rapidly increasing demand. In terms of farming management, actually, uh, some people may think that it's more difficult than chicken, but the facts are that there are enough information available from both local and international research results which might be applicable to local situations. So in terms of farm management, farm procedure, farm housing, there are enough information which are ready to apply with probably with only small adjustment to the local condition. And also nutrient requirements. Information from research results are abundantly available. Also in terms of feed and feeding aspects, and also diseases control. Specifically for disease control, medication and other procedures are already available so that farmers can readily apply this technology.
What are the future opportunities for the industry? What should producers do for the industry to grow?
Yeah. Well, yes, future opportunities are wide open. For broiler farmers, a better structured production system is required, from production to marketing and product processing. In terms of production, as I mentioned, the supply of ducklings and the farm management practices, it needs to still to be improved. Availability of proper slaughterhouse, marketing and product processing. This may create added value to the products. And also, as I mentioned, that people are still not familiar with buying raw duck meat. So it is a relatively new industry, and it still requires a lot of improvements in every aspect of the production. Currently, duck meat industry is still lacking in the number of duck slaughterhouses. And with the increasing number of broiler farmers, there should be enough slaughterhouses with ISO standard in each production center.
So, can you say that duck slaughtering is still mostly done traditionally? What makes duck slaughterhouses different from chicken slaughterhouses?
Yes, in many small farming operations, duck slaughtering is to be done traditionally and manually. Because of the limited numbers of duck slaughterhouses and also cost effectiveness. In terms of cost effectiveness is the size of the farm and the distance to travel from the farm to the slaughterhouses. So it might be costly to them. So it's easier for them that they create their own traditional and manual slaughterhouses. Some of the small operations already applied the hygienic and sanitary procedures properly, but many of them are still lack of concerns in terms of these aspects. The main difference from chicken slaughterhouse is mainly in the process of feather plucking, which is more difficult in ducks, especially if the birds are harvested before all the small feathers have been removed. In other words, we need to slaughter the house when the permanent feather already start to grow. Then it will be easier to remove the feathers during slaughter. But many farmers, they don't really care about this feathering process as long as the body weight has reached slaughter weight, then they just harvest the birds, and it is still also create problems to the slaughterhouses.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Hardi, for talking with me today.
Well, thank you. See you until next time.
I hope you get valuable information from this episode. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information on the Asian animal protein industry, please visit www.asian-agribase.com.